Don't you wish that we could walk into an everyday world and be in control of the mindsets and the mood swings that we project forward, or we project it inward, and it brings more injury to us because we're not letting it out. We're not letting things happen, but we're going to look up every excuse in the book and put it into use. We're going to, because that's just what we do. Those inner voices in our head that belittle us, never really support us, but every now and then they might say, God, you got good looking hair today. Thanks, man. Thanks for showing up. Can this happen more often? No. You see, now you're asking too much. What is it, man? What are we really in these moments where we feel like we're down, we're depressed? Are we disconnected? Are we really there? Or is it those darn voices in your head and heart that are trying to convince you that you're not there? But where is there if we're being blocked by everybody on a football team that's won the Super Bowl 12 or 13 times? How are you going to get through that mess? Well, you've got to break it down. You've got to be able to be present with yourself in the now. But then you come across a situation where you're going, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. And I think that's where this writer was 18 years ago, is that he was just going, I don't know how to handle this situation. Now, I'm gonna get religious with you just for a moment, okay? I don't want you to walk away from this, okay? I'm going to get religious. In 2002, I knew who God was, but I didn't know who God was. See, I had not returned to the four walls of church. What I was doing was I was studying the Word through my own efforts of bringing the Word into my life by way of motivational books. And every now and then I would sit down and I would talk to somebody about, man, I need some spiritual growth and all that kind of stuff. And even in 2002, I had not even entered Taekwondo yet. And so that right there was the game changer and the game buster, because that really opened up the door, the foot fist way. And it really did put my mind in the place that I needed to be. But see, what we don't understand as human beings is that we can go through life, have those storms. I mean, they're heavy on the heart. They're heavy on the heart. And you're going, I can't do it anymore. And you're either beating the hell out of yourself on the inward, or what you're doing, you're on the outside of your body, you're taking it out on other people. You got a choice. You're either doing it to yourself or you're doing it to others. It happens, and you've got to get it under control, and you've got to understand it. And it's very difficult for me to be on this right here, which is the daily mess. And to talk about something that was going on 18 years ago, because basically I'm just putting it out there. This is the way that it was. I was in a horribly, horribly dark place. And it's like, okay, do I really need to be this open with people? And you know, once again, going to get religious. Don't tune out yet, please. Okay, I was called to do this. So therefore, in my heart, when it came to creating this show, the show is called The Daily Mess. I was called, go get your daily writing, and you're going to have to put your business out there. Because there's a lot of people that are going through a lot of business, and they don't know where to go. The motivational books aren't working. You know, having a best friend isn't working. You know, and sometimes even going to a psychotherapist or a psychologist, look, you need to go there. I'm going to tell you that right now. You gotta start a journey there. I know it's expensive, but you can find people and you can find ways to get some answers. But then once you've been there and you've talked about it, you got to activate it, man. You know, it's not about just going in there and going blah, 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 blah. Oh, I feel better now. No, you got to activate what it is that they're putting on your path. And that's when things really begin for you, is that when you start understanding who, what, where, why, when, and how without putting a lot of pressure on yourself, then things really begin to grow forward in ways where you can find that peace-filled life. Hey, it's Arrow. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I say that with great pride. I document life and all that comes after. Although I talk about being mindfully present in what is now, I step back to the pages stained by the nib of my writing instrument because I believe there is something there. We don't just experience life. We're supposed to be taking notes for a future self that has been hit so hard that many of us have become numb. This is The Daily Mess. Today I thought we would go back to February 6th, the year 2002. The unforeseen foresight of a career divorce. Wow. You've been there? I mean, seriously, where you go, I just got to quit. I just can't do this. And then that other voice comes up and taps you on the shoulder. You're not a quitter. Don't quit. You're a professional. Don't put people in bad situations. You been there? Yeah. How you feeling? How did you feel? What did you do to get out of that situation? Or did you just keep digging the hole? And it kept getting darker and darker. And you went into these moments of sadness and depression, and you didn't have any faith at all. You all you could do was guilt trip yourself, and you shamed yourself every day. The unforeseen foresight of a career divorce. My eyes are fogged. My nose is closed. My throat hurts. My breath possibly stinks. Aspirin doesn't cure this pain, but I do have a bottle of Gatorade. Please just let me go. I know for sure I didn't ask for this cold. Some see sickness as the easiest way to ask for a day off. My view is that the job is attacking me. Something has weakened me. I shall place blame on those who've made me this way. You've been there? Why do I keep saying that? I know you've been there. I know you've been at that place where you're sick all the time. And you don't know why, and the doctor keeps looking at you going, what the hell, man? You're being a pain in my butt here. But what's making you sick is probably your career, your job, because you don't want to let go. You're not a quitter. You're not a quitter. Come on, put up with it. Come on. They replace bosses more than they do employees. Man, I've used that line a few thousand times, only to learn that when your number is up, it's up. And then you're grateful. You're grateful that it's finally over. And then you just walk about in life and you say, all right, what's next? Hit me with your best shot. But the problem is that we put ourselves back in the same position that we were just in, because it's what we know. We're not willing to break the habits. We're not willing to make a change. We're afraid of anything that is challenging because we're just so used to being this person I am right now. And yet, if you took the time to daily write, you would see how you really thought. Because, what happens is that when you write, it's not, hi, how are you doing today? I went to the store and I bought bananas. It's not about that, because when you daily write, all of a sudden, that relationship between you, that writing instrument, and that sheet of paper becomes strong. It becomes a BFF. And then it grows even more than that, because then you realize, wait a second, this isn't just a sheet of paper. It's a former tree that came from a seed that was once part of a raindrop. And you see what I mean? It just goes deeper and deeper. And then you start looking at your own life. I'm not just me. I am my mother and my father's child. And then you start bringing it forward. How many people have you affected and changed because of the product that you created at your place of business? When you start looking at the elements that really bring you into this moment of now, and you see how much you have participated with all things that are now, all of a sudden you realize, I'm not alone. There is a reason. There might be a hell of a season, but the purpose is always planned. And if I could just participate with that, I'm not a quitter. But if you participate with that and you learn to understand who you are and not what you are, then you're going to see light in ways that really, it's almost like a prism. Not a prison, but a prism. Have you ever done that? You ever hung a prism in your window? And then the sun shines in there either in the morning or the afternoon, late in the afternoon, and all the colors are everywhere. You are a prism. You're not in prison. Allow the light to move through you. I'm Arrow, and that's the Daily Mess.